Okay, so we have our 123D catch read topo here. We're going to need to apply some UVs and transfer our textures over. So we're going to go ahead and do at least the first part of the process where we get to to have UVs where we can transfer things onto. So what we'll need an unwrap UVW modifier. Okay, so with this, if we look here, we can open up and see that we don't have any UVs. And the way that this is going to work, we're going to use a lot of pelt tools or the peel tools. And the peel tools need a basic set of UVs in order to work. So if we okay, oh, I have my selection locked. There we go. So with this selected, and let's say we did a quick peel, you can see we're not getting anything here. We'll just need to do a quick projection. And if you're wondering why this may look a little different, it's because of this guy here. I just expanded the modify panel. So with that in place, now if I were to do a quick peel, you see we get a result. It's not that great a result, and that's because we don't have any seams. Actually, considering we don't have any seams in place, it's actually pretty decent. But let's go ahead and start adding some seams into the mesh. Usually it's a good idea. I like to isolate things like the ears, closed nose cavities, mouth. I like to put seams into those areas. So we'll start with that. We'll just grab our edge, selection mode. We'll turn off our element selection. So we'll grab, let's say, this loop. If we hit F3, you can see that we have this continuing on into the mouth. We'll hold Alt and just deselect that. And then we'll just add this to our seam selection, and we'll just go from point to point, from here to here. Ta-da! So that ear is isolated, and then we're just going to do the same thing. Turn this tool off. We'll grab this guy. Select the loop, deselect, add to seam, point to point. Okay, so we have that seam set up, and from here I can actually, we can try this a bunch of different ways. It's great to experiment, but I'm just going to slice down the neck and maybe have this portion be connected to the bottom part of the head and the top part connected to the back part of the neck. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'll try from here to here. And do the same thing on the opposite end. From here, I just right-clicked in order to get rid of that selection. Or else I would have tried to do a path from this point to the ear. Okay, so we have that in place. So these are our seams. So if I were to select the face here, and then grow my selection out, you can see the ears are isolated. Let's not forget about the nose cavities. So we'll grab that, and then we'll just grab a loop selection. Looks like I have a spiral here, so let's try this guy. You know what? I'll just do point to point. So we'll just grab from this point, hit F3 to this point. I'm just going to go around here. Let's try this out. Okay, so we got that. I'm gonna get rid of this guy.
I can change my...
Do something similar over here on the reverse side. We'll just grab you. Just come around, just take out the nose. Cool. So that's a seam there, and then I'll do a similar spot in the mouth. Turn this tool off. Loop selection, and then convert. Cool. So we have our seams. We'll grab our faces. Boop. Gross selection to our seams. You got to see that the ears, nose cavity, I messed up on this nose here. I see where my hole is. Up this edge.
I still do that. I mean, the first thing I do is shoot the dark because it slows them, it snares them so they can't get to me.
So let's see. There we are. So we'll add this edge into our seam. There. So now we'll go ahead and give this another go. Face, grab, grow. There we are. So now we have this set up, and we'll just do just a regular peel. So we have our peel set up. Doesn't look that great, but the peel is still active. So what we'll do, we'll start moving and pinning and just start straightening this out. So we'll go to our vertex mode here. So we have this, and then we'll just grab this, move this top up, and then we'll come here, grab this guy, peel it up, and you get to see that how that straightened out right here. And then we'll just grab the same for the bottom. And there we are. So now we have all the controls that we need in order to get a decent stretched, a decent peeled map. So we'll grab all these verts. I'm actually going to move. I'm going to move my point here so that I don't have this overlapping from the ears and those leftover parts. So now we can just go ahead and just grab these parts and just start straightening out areas that we need to straighten out. Cool. So now in here you get to see the mouth is pretty decent. Everything is not really that bad. If we need any more control, we can come into here and start controlling in these sections. Usually I find that I'm never just putting down one pin. I always have kind of a symmetrical ish type of selection. So now this eye is a little warped. It may just be fine, but just looking at it in this view, I might want to pull these out some. So here I can try this. I can try pulling this down, or I can just come in and just grab the eyes themselves, along with some of these other pins. So maybe start stretching out the face here. Maybe start pulling this up. Whoa! Cool. So it's nice to just kind of come in and just work from the outside than having to come in. But if you do need to come in, it can be useful to go ahead and grab edge mode. So here we can go ahead and grab this guy, grab a loop, and then deselect this out. Alright, so we'll deselect these guys. Cool. So now with these, we can convert our selection, edge to vert, and then just move this out. So now this is pinned, and then now when I go and start moving this up, I can straighten out this eye, and I can do the same thing with my opposite eye. So if we grab that E, grab our loop,
I'm not used to playing it. Like, not used to the
deselect,
I got 2 levels.
and move.
What's Jeff at?
Oops. And you gotta see, I didn't necessarily convert that time. So I'm able to rotate and just do the same thing for this side here. So choice is yours on what you feel the best look for your particular mesh is going to be. Oops. Let me try doing my conversion. Convert to vert.
I miss all that stuff. Okay. I'm still far behind both of you.
Kind of move these around a bit. We'll tweak some of these, maybe get more of an eye shape here. Whoops.
I love. That's why I want to do this. I want to make a little scorpion.
Start just shaping out this eye, and then everything else should follow.
Just stop when you.
Or start tweaking from the outside. So
I have so much money.
if we tweaked on the outside first and then start moving, that might have given me a similar result that we have on the right. But this is remotely decent here, moderately decent. Cool. So now we just need to do the opposite sides. Grab these faces here, and just we can try a quick peel, and that did a good job. I do have some overlapping here. If we were to just select this element, we just select everything here, and then do we're in peel mode. If we were to select edges, these edges, grab a loop, and then Control B. That should peel out. The peel mode is probably still within this selection. So if we go ahead and start grabbing points, we can straighten this out for the mouth. There we go. So you get to see. Get to see what we can get with this. Let's just get more tension here and straighten this out, and you can utilize all of the tools that you have within your toolbar. But yeah, so that's more or less the unwrapping process.
Instead of hammering them.
Cool. So now I'm just gonna arrange everything in here so that they fit within one space.
Shoot, I should stop doing that. You do have to rebuild. It's not updated. My trigger volume, I keep making bigger and bigger, but it's. I made it bigger, but it's still not. When I step into the trigger, it's still not. You doing it right? It should be happening like right now. That's where my trigger was. originally it was right there, and that's still where it's hitting. I just scaled it. I did that way. Okay. Oh. Okay. Now it's
Cool. So
that always puts me in
we're
line. I mean,
we're laid out, fairly clean setup. We can clean it up some more, but this is something that we can actually use for our texture projection.